Dave Palumbo here, and Olympia week is upon us, and just because of that, I'm going to offer you a very special deal at speciesnutrition.com. 30% off the entire website. That's right, 30% off the entire website. Just use coupon code Olympia30 for this special Olympia week from now through Saturday night at 11:59 p.m. That's right, 30% off speciesnutrition.com just because it's Olympia week. Guys, enjoy the broadcast and check out the specials at speciesnutrition.com. 30% off, use Olympia30, free shipping on orders over $100.
Old School Bodybuilding Clothing Company and Species Nutrition present RX Muscle's Olympia weekend coverage. For those that lose their mind if they haven't eaten any protein in 3.5 hours, osbbc.com for the hardest training athletes.
Dave Palumbo here with an RX Muscle news update. The women's Miss Olympia has just let out the Women's Bodybuilding Championships, formerly called the Miss Olympia, now called the Miss Olympia again, is back. And it was back with a bang for sure. Although I think one of the stories that a lot of people are not talking about was, where was Iris Kyle? 10-time Miss Olympia was supposed to be in this lineup. She didn't show up to the press conference. No one really said why. And prejudging started, and Iris was nowhere to be seen. I have not gotten an update as to what happened, whether she's sick or something's not doing well for her, but she was not there. So she out of this lineup. But the show must go on, as they say, and it sure did. And Rising Phoenix champion from a week ago, Andrea Shaw, showed up and, man, devastated this lineup. In my opinion, she was the clear-cut winner here. She brought conditioning. She brought symmetry. She brought muscle. Thank God. We have finally found, I think she is the savior of the women's bodybuilding division. I think she's going to be the future of this division. She has got a fresh look to her physique. She's got a small waist. She's a good poser. She brings impeccable conditioning. She's balanced from upper to lower. Her back could be a little bit, I'd like to see a little bit more muscle on her back, but from the front and side, she is dominant as can be, and she's dry, and she's brought the goods with a lot of muscle separation and beauty to the face, and I love to see that whole combination, as they say, the whole package. I think that no one was close to her in my mind. You know, although they were moving around Helen Trevino, who is the former Rising Phoenix champion from last year, and we also saw the Margie Martin, who's also won the Rising Phoenix several times. This was their return to hopefully try to reclaim or claim an Olympia victory, and I think that Andrea just outgunned them, basically. I felt that Margie, who had probably the most potential to win here this weekend, with the most muscle, the most wow. I mean, her last name now is Marvelous. So, I mean, she is marvelous, but she did not bring marvelous conditioning to the stage. And I think that was her Achilles heel here today. She brought everything she needed, except she just was not tight enough. And I don't know if it was a water or a fat thing or a combination of both, but I would say it was probably a combination of both. A little bit of body fat still, and she just looked over-carb to me and spilled over. And when she's like that, she loses the marvelousness of herself, and she loses all the lines and shape and craziness that gives her that wow and the ability to beat the lineup normally. So if you don't come in 100%, we've said this a million times over, it's about conditioning, okay? And she did not bring the conditioning to this stage. Helen Trevino also, her calling card was always grainy, dry conditioning. I felt her tan could have been darker, and when she turned around, she just didn't have that deep separation in the glutes and hamstrings that we're used to seeing from her on the stage when she's won the Rising Phoenix show championships in the past. I didn't see it at the Rising Phoenix a week ago, and I didn't see it here. It didn't look like she improved any. She looked a little on the flat side, like she probably tried to suck out as much water as possible, but I think there was just still some body fat there from behind, only on that lower body. So this was a good Helen Trevino, wasn't a great Helen Trevino. And same for Margie Martin. It was a good Margie Martin. It just wasn't a great Margie Martin. The person who impressed me, believe it or not, in this top four the most was Mila Ash, who I thought could have been, I would have had her in second place. She's the smallest girl in the lineup, and her legs are not, the size of, a Monique Jones or a Margie Martin, but I think she brought conditioning. She brought symmetry. She's got the smallest waist on the entire stage. And you know what? That should have been rewarded in this lineup, because if she's good enough to make top 4 here, in my mind, she's good enough to play second place here. And the judges should go with conditioning when it comes down to this, because Helly and Margie, while they're better bodybuilders probably as a whole, they just did not bring the conditioning level they needed, in my mind, to place second and third here. So I hope Mila Ash winds up in that second position. Even if she finishes 4th here, that's still amazing. Miss Olympia top 4. So that's the recap from the prejudging. Of course, we don't know what's going to happen until tonight. So you guys stay tuned. Hopefully you guys purchased the live stream. I've been watching on the live stream. What a great job they're doing. Jake and Dan put together a great live stream. So I'm really happy about that. For now, though, I'm Dave Palumbo with an RX Muscle News Update.